Let's talk about an Israeli Declaration of Independence, known as the Declaration of the Establishment of Israel. It was proclaimed on May the 14th, 1948, and May the 5th, at the end of the Civil War phase, and the beginning of the international phase of 1948 Mandatory Palestine Arab War by David Ben-Gurion, who was the first Prime Minister of the executive head of the World Zionist Organization and chairman of the Jewish Agency for Palestine. It was declared as the establishment of a Jewish state in Palestine, or known as the Land of Israel, which would come into effect of the termination of the British mandate at midnight that day. This event is celebrated annually in Israel as the Independence Day. It's a national holiday in May the 5th. What happened this year? It was celebrated last month. Kind of questioned that part. I had no understanding why they actually did it according to the Hebrew calendar. It's been a goal of the Zionist organizations since the late 19th century. In 1917, to facilitate the achievements of the object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may produce the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. Non-Jewish communities in Palestine. Again, non-Jewish residents in Palestine, or the rights of political status enjoyed by Jewish in any other country. Though this letter became known as the Balfour Declaration, the British government policy officially endorsed Zionism after World War I. The United Kingdom was given a mandate for Palestine, which had been conquered from the Ottomans during this war. In 1937, a Peel Commission suggestion pardoning mandate Palestine into an Arab state and a Jewish state, though the proposal was rejected as unworkable by the government and was least partially to blame for the renewal of the Arab War, 1936 to 1939, in the face of increasing violence after World War I. The British handed the issue over the recently established United Nations. They're in trouble. The result was partition Palestine into independent Arab and Jewish states, and a special international regime for the city of Jerusalem. The state was received around 56% of the land area Mandate Palestine, encompassing 82% of the Jewish population, though it would be separated from Jerusalem. The plan was accepted by most of the Jewish population, but rejected by much of the Arab populace. 1947, the resolution to recommend to the United Kingdom as the mandatory power for Palestine, and to all of the members of the United Nations. This adoption is regarded to the future government of Palestine, of the planned partition with economic union, but put to a vote in the United Nations General Assembly. The result was in 33 to 13 in favor of the resolution, with 10 Part 1 Future Constitution and Government of Palestine, a termination of mandate partition and independence, independent Arab and Jewish states, and the special international regime for the city of Jerusalem shall come into existence in Palestine 2 months after the evacuation of the armed forces of mandatory power has been completed, but in a case not later than October the 1st, 1948. The Arab countries, all of which had opposed the plan, proposed to query the International Court of Justice on the competence of General Assembly to partition a country. Was rejected. Drafting the text, the first draft of the declaration was made by Zvi Benson, the legal advisor of the Histadrut, and later the Justice of the Supreme Court, at the request of Pinchas Rosen. A revised second draft was made by 3 lawyers, Mordechai Bahem, Yuri Yadin, and Zvi Eli Baker. Was framed by a committee including David Ben-Gurion, Pinchas Rosen, Chaim Moshe Shapira, Moshe Sharet, who will be mentioned throughout history, and Alan Zilling. A second committee meeting included David Ben-Gurion, Yehuda Leib Maimon, Sharet, Zilling produced the final text. In May the 12th, 1948, the Minhelet Haim, known as the People's Administration, was convened